So, the faculty development program is a really interesting topic. Indeed, it's one of the finest ways to refine ourselves, because there is a saying in IT companies, of a vyakti who joins as an employee, if he stops learning for 3 years, the employee software engineering one company join adaga 3 ವರ್ಷ ಅವನು ಕಲಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ he will become obsolete, ಅಂದ್ರೆ useless vyakti in the whole system, because every day there is a development which keeps happening. So that being the case, faculty development program is one of the finest ways to enhance our own capability in terms of competence, in terms of character, both knowledge, skills and attitude that we talk about. So today's topic that sir has told me to touch upon is on the management and leadership side. So leadership or management is sambandhite, each one of you being academic leaders, nimge nimmade anta ಒಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ. You have your own teams, you have your own students, you have your own colleagues, you have your own bosses. So you have to manage all of them, and yet you have to prove that you are one of the best compared to the rest, right? ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು challenges ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು you have to prove that you are the best. That being the case, what is that you are looking forward from me? So this is a question to all of you. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ maybe next ಒಂದು 30-35 minutes what I am going to spend time. What do you expect from me? One, I have got something as per the mandate given by Shri Prabhu sir, but I would like to know ನಿಮ್ಮ expectation ಏನಿದೆ ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. So what is that you want to really look forward to me to touch upon? I would be really happy to touch that or cover that during my presentation. Specific expectation idea? Anything? Or do you have any challenges in managing people which you want me to address? Sorry, but I put the sacre. That anyways I am going to do by 5:50. See, I believe in time management, and end time is more important. Just in case you start time ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ವಿಜಯವಾಣಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಗೆ. ನನಗೆ 12 ರಿಂದ 1:30 ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ 12 ರಿಂದ 1:30 ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಮೈಕ್ 12:20 1:21ಕ್ಕೆ. Then I told students 90% discount offer ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಈಗ, because 90 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ 81 minutes they have already consumed. I will speak for 9 minutes. I spoke only 9 minutes. So today I am here between 4:30 to 5:15. So till 5:15 I will speak. End time is important. 5:45. Okay, then it's it. Then I have some ample time. Very good. So what is that you expect me to talk? Just to give you my background, I come from corporate sector. I have done my bachelor degree in social work education, BSW from Karnataka University, and I pursued my masters in social work from a place called as Mangalore, Roshni Nilaya. I am a student of Roshni Nilaya from 2006 batch. Then I worked for 10 years in the field of human resource management with Tata's, Scania, Volkswagen, Tyco, these kind of companies. And in last 7 years I am a social entrepreneur. I have been working with a lot of youths all across the country. We have training centers, skill centers in over 17 states, and we operate with 352 training centers, and we provide free skill development program for youths, students and women. So that has been our job, and it's free of cost training. And we started with about humble beginning of 10 lakh rupees turnover. Today we are about 120 crores turnover. So that's the kind of a massive impact that we have created, with an impact of 3 lakh people. Our idea is to impact 1 million, that is 10 lakh youths and women by 2030. That's our work. Now what else? If a prashna idre, I would be really happy to incorporate. No questions? That's a good start. Okay. So let's start. The topic leadership, what we are going to talk. So leadership is all about the theory part is organizing a group of people to achieve a common goal, right? That's leadership. If you have an academic leader, if you have a religious leader, if you have a political leader, if you have a business leader, any leader for that matter, he will bring people from different parts, and the idea is to achieve a common goal, a stated goal or unstated goal. or other definition is leadership is a process of social influence in which one person can enlist the aid and support others in accomplishment of a common task. This is a theory. Because since all of you are academicians, I thought I will just start with the academic part. Then second slide onwards, it's going to be my experience from Tata's, right? Any other definition you think leadership is all about? Leadership. How many of you teach social science here? Anybody from social science side? Okay, fine. So the first thing that I am going to talk, where we are going to really understand one of the finest enterprise in the country is Tata. And I had a privilege and pleasure of working with Tata's for 6 years. And what I have understood, I will share with you my own personal experiences with Tata leadership management. What is leadership? Leadership is all about people management, right? You manage people, right? One. Second, what do you manage? Resources. Or what do you lead? Resources. You lead resources. You manage resources. Then, what you are responsible to give? You are hired as a professor or a lecturer, or let's say manager in a production factory, or in a manager in a store. Okay, Reliance kind of a store, or any Aditya Birla more. If you are a manager, what you are expected to do? Products. What do you do with products or services? Result, right? So first is you manage people. Second, you manage result. Third, what do you do? Time management. Time management is an activity in a sense of managing all your result, or for that matter people. In business context, it is managing business. You have to give revenue, right? So it's all about people management, result management, or business management. So leadership is all about managing these three things or leading these three things. You have to manage people, you have to manage results, you have to manage business, right? Is it okay? In your context, business andre academics anta in your context, right? Academic management or maybe institution management. You are not into business, but you are into services of managing an institution. So institution management is something which gets replaced. But this is a Tata leadership practice, proven management method, a framework of managing the business or the managing leadership at all levels, right? Any questions here? So that we can, before we move on. Any question here? Broadly, people, result, business. That's what we lead. How do we do that? In terms of people, when we talk about people management, we really look at the first is ownership. You have your own leadership style of managing people. How do you manage or lead people? For example, if this is a faculty development program, if this faculty development program is given to one person, either job that Dr. Basu Professor here, the person who is responsible, what that person has to take first? Responsibility, ownership, right? So people management is first factor is ownership management. You have to really give ownership. They will take ownership and they will deliver. Ownership they will say, I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the person who is assigning that responsibility, they say, this one is fine, this 2 is not required at the moment, 3 is important, 4 is important, 5 is not required, but I will add 2 more things. So the tasks are defined, the ownership comes to people, right? So that is what the first element of among 14, he called it as 14 success factors of these 3 areas of leadership: people, business and results. So the first one is takes ownership. A person who has to manage anything, who has to lead anything, has to take ownership. Ownership will you be able to manage people? Is it possible to manage people without taking ownership? If a person is not responsible, is it possible to manage people? Yes or no? Possible? No. So that's why the first element, which is success factor in Tata way of looking at, is taking ownership. The second, I took ownership. Then people have to be developed, right? People development happens by once an appointment are there. Will you be able to deliver what is expected out of you for next 30 years? Is it possible? Not possible. What has to be done? What has to be done? It has to be done, it has to be done through people development, right? So development happens through dialogues, through expected results that you expect from that individual. Vyakti kadeyinda, officer kadeyinda, what is that expected out of them annodunna clarity itkondu you can always develop them. And development, there are so many tools. How do you develop? Professional development, personal development, academic development, so that you can do that. That is second, people development. Third, once the development starts happening, at times as academic heads, be it from students, be it from colleagues, be it from your own reportees, you start receiving some complaints. So that gentleman, he did not behave the way he was supposed to behave with the next person, right? Do you get complaints or no? Or it's all perfectly alright? Academic students are all really disciplined and no complaints? Unlike our factories? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದಾಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಇರಲ್ಲ? Absolutely fine. Then third element is not required. More than required complexity. So in such scenario, what we require? We require interpersonal effectiveness. At times, you might have to say no to some people, because let's say you have said that you will take a class or you will finish one research paper or something that is very, very important to the institution, but all of a sudden you have some visitors. It is something called as important versus urgent, right? You know that important and urgent quadrant, right? Important and urgent, urgent and important, and urgent not important, not urgent not important. So in that quadrant, you have to differentiate what is really important and what is really, really urgent. If both are urgent and important, then you have to do both the things and simultaneously with deployment of additional resources. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬಳಸಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. In case, for example, if there is this report which has to be submitted by 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock only you have received, you have a guess, then you can always tell a person who is your superior or maybe concerned person that I was supposed to send you by 2 o'clock, but I have a guess, so I will send you by 4 o'clock by the time I finish this visit. That is where you have to develop that effective, interpersonal communication. Otherwise, a lack of communication. The person who is waiting for report, if he or she is calling you or continuous phone ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, you are busy with guests and you are not taking call. What happens? What happens? Then there will be furthermore damage of relationship between the individual who is supposed to receive report and you, right? Instead, you proactively call and tell, I should have sent, but I am not going to send because this is the situation. So that is where your interpersonal effectiveness in people management helps. Are we clear? Heavy idea, light idea? Is it okay? Pace is okay? Because I am trying to give more academic examples, otherwise I could have quoted a lot of corporate examples. Then a fourth element in people management is building effective teams. You are what your team is, right? One of our advisors, he has come from a most richest company from the India. You know which I am quoting. I am not supposed to quote that company's name because he is there as advisor to us. He says when he was working for that company, you are what your advisors are. That is the famous statement he keeps using on us, right? At times, a leader is not a leader, administrator is not an administrator, or a team manager is not a manager unless and until what effective team size he has or effective teams that person has, right? For example, today I am talking here on 6th of this month, and my company is into skilling, and a lot of payments have to happen, and 5th, 6th, 7th of the month is extremely busy days for us, right? About 9 to 10 crore rupees payment we do on these 3 days. I have not been disturbed by my team nor any escalation from my team. Means if my team is not effective, then I will have to say so sorry to sir. Sir, 5-6 ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಬೇಡಿ ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬಿಸಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಬರಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. That is one way to tell. Second, if you build your team so beautifully that whether you are there or not, okay, things will work, show will go on. That is good. So at times what happens, you are here, all faculty development program members are here. In fact, I was in my third year of my career, I was nominated by Tata Motors group at IIM Ahmedabad. So I was there for my development program, which we call it as management development. You guys are part of FDPs, we were part of MDPs, management development program. So one of the professors by name Professor Sunil Maheshwari, who was my professor there, he was telling, we were 27 people like you guys, and he said people will actually call you guys, you know, maybe that might be happening to you also. Sir, 2 ದಿನ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್, ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಏನು ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಭೂಲೋಕನೇ ಏನೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೊಂದರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವನೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್? ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ದಟ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್, ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಎಂಜಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್. This is not my statement, this is my professor who said. Okay, they are actually happy, but the way they express during phone calls is as if everything is absolutely ಏನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬೇಗ ಬನ್ನಿ, but actually they are enjoying. And as an extension, my father used to tell me, my father was in Indian Army, he was in Indian Army for 20 years. So he used to say his team members, so also when he was Jawan, 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ರಜೆ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ರಜೆ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. 2 ತಿಂಗಳ ರಜೆಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಯಾವಾಗ ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬಾಸ್ನ ರಜೆ ಯಾವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬಾಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ 2 months ಲೀವ್. ಅವರು ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಮೇ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಜೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವರು ಜೂನ್ ಜುಲೈ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ರಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ 4 ತಿಂಗಳು ರಜೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ likewise, you know, this particular team management is such, which is very interesting topic. Your teams might give you a feeling that without you nothing is there, but everything will happen, so everything is okay. So it is not that everything is dependent on, but feeling is good. That is the respect that they really have for you. Moving on, withstanding pressure is the 5th element of people leadership. At times we as leaders in our own academic setup, we keep getting lot of targets, lot of tasks, lot of achievable tasks, sometimes unrealistic tasks. Nayak avara next week bandbiduttadu. Then you know what is the kind of scenario that you have to go through. Anta stress alli will you pass on? There are 3 categories of managers I have seen. One, postmans ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವರು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಖಾಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಡೋಣ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. So that is one management method. Second, any pressure comes, they will not let the team know. Anything which is normal, they will let the team know. Any pressure comes, that person handles. That is the capability of that individual. Third way is, whatever comes, even team will not come to know, or they will not be prepared whether that pressure comes or no pressure comes. All that is ignored. Then finally, team is also being scolded, so also the leader. So the withstanding pressure is one of the finest ways where you have to really manage and predict. If you are able to predict, if you are well informed, if your network is good, then pressure management or withstanding pressure is far more better in comparison to having no pressure. Are we clear? These are the 5 important success factors which Tatas have in terms of people leadership capability. Right? Any questions here before we move to the next results part? Another Vidya? Fully loaded again. So the next is results. Result is something which is tangible, which is measurable, which is more visible through what you have done. So at times, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you may not be able to showcase to your bosses or your managers. That's not the case with results. Results is more tangible because you have everything on paper or on document. So the first one is drive for results. So drive for results is something which is required by your own team members, where drive has to come from them, not you. So sometimes what happens, there are three categories of people who are, one of my Tata boss used to tell me, there are three categories of employees whom you get to see. First is self-starters, like bikes are there, self-starter. So automatically you don't have to tell, don't worry. That's very proactive, employees. They come and do. Second is kickstart. Self-starter, kickstart. ಕೆಲವು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ಕೆಲವು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೇನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡು. ಥರ್ಡ್, ಮೂರನೇದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ? ಅದು 1985ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಜಾಜ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬೈಕ್ ಬಂತು. ಅದು ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು? ಈಗ ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಠ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. That is third category. So there are different ways of managing teams. One of the ways is to have more self-starters in your team, and that is only possible what your team is, because if you see in many government setup, bureaucrats, I have personally seen there is a team which is consistently working in the same location for, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and all of a sudden one dynamic officer comes. Who want to get things done just like this. What happens? Team will be slow, or team will try to match up with the dynamism of that officer. They will try to match up, right? So finest way to manage team effectively for driving results, my personal experience is also so, that you have to lead by example. At times you want things to be happening as per your expectation, but you don't want to be part of it. See, if you are part of the action, for example, if I say my people that 9 to 6 is the job, you all have to be here in the office by 9 to 6, by 9 o'clock, go by 6 o'clock. If I go at 11 o'clock, you think they will come at 9 o'clock? Unless and until biometric. But even after biometric, they will go to coffee and tea and breakfast, right? That won't help. So it all depends on how do you drive results by being examples. So being example is extremely important in terms of managing teams. That is first. Second, customer focus. When you want to have results, customer focus is extremely important. In my last assignment in Scania, he had come from a very good automobile company. It was Ashok Leyland. And he was a sales manager. I wanted to hire a sales manager. Our company sales manager hire. Then he said, "Sir, I have sold a good number of marine engines. Boat engine. What was your best experience with customer?" I asked him a question. He said, "One day, one customer, sir, when you ride madbara." So I told him, so boat al kooskondu. 2-2.5 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೀ ತೆಗೆದು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಕಿ. ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಕೀ ತೆಗೆದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಕಿ. ದೆನ್ he said, ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ AC ಆಫೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಂಜಿನ್ಗಳನ್ನ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಬಂದ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಬಂದ್ ಆಯ್ತು, now you tell me what should I do? ಫೋನ್ ತೆಗೆದು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಶಿಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೋಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Now you tell me what you want to do. So this is the scenario that customer expect you to be focused. Then of course he had one more additional key, then they came back. So that's a different thing, part 2 of the story. But just to sensitize the seller, customer gave that experience. Now what is your way to give best customer experience to your own? Who are your customers? Maybe in your context, your students are your customers, right? If they get good experience, what happens? They will give good publicity to different future students and you will get more students. ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಎರಡಪ್ಪ ಇಬ್ರು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಕಿತ್ತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಬ್ರು ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೂಸುಗಾಸಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then next they will not get good candidates to our institution. You would have seen this coaching institutes especially, they give this offers to most of the students, those who are above 95, those who are above 98, those who are above 99 or more than 620 marks. We will give you free stay, free food, free education. Why? Publicity. That is a customer focus, because next year they will get first, second, third rank at the PU level from those students. It's an investment. So that's a customer focus. So as a results management, what is going to be your customer focus is very, very important. That's a second element. That's how Tata manage their leadership style. Third is timely decision making. Do you think timely decision making is important? Yes. Any examples of good time management? A great leader is the one who takes decisions, right, wrong, for or against. A person has to take decision. One of the really weakness and which has been putting India or for that matter any country, any organization, any business is backtracking. Their actual growth is because of lack of decision. Do you agree with you? Do you agree with this? I have seen many people don't take decisions. Many people in their career because risk taking appetite. ಏನಾದರೂ decision ತಗೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳೋಲ್ಲ. Correct? So for example, I have seen a couple of officers writing. ಇದು ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ very difficult. So ಅದು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ. I forgot. Of late I am not going to government offices. It's been more than 4 years. Otherwise, ಸೂಕ್ತ
ಯಾಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಬಾರದು?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೂಕ್ತ ನಿಯಮಗಳ ಸೂಕ್ತ ನಿಯಮಗಳ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನೋ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Somehow what they say, as per rules take decisions. ಸಂದರ್ಭ exactly that's the right. Thank you sir. So that's the right. Means better not take decision. And decision will not be taken. ಆ ಲೈನ್ ನೋಡೇ ಅವ ಕೈಗೆ ಸರ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್, ಅವನು ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಬೇಡ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ that's why decision making is very, very important. Why some of the leaders are remembered all through their life is because of decision. There are two categories of decisions. One with risk, second with calculated risks. There is something called as human element. You as a leader, you have to take calculated risk. And in my life, I have seen if your intentions are good, if you have a good logic to prove your calculation and your risk that you have taken, nobody will question. Unless and until they have decided to screw your life, nobody can help. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ತಗೊಂಡೇ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ. But if your intention is good, nobody will question. Because let's say if I have taken a decision, my boss is really, screwing me. I can always go to the higher ups and say, this is what is the situation. ಈ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. There will be one person who will say, don't worry, I am convinced with your logic. But taking no decision, you are paid to take decision. You are not paid to keep the file moving for years and decades and centuries. We are here to take decisions. We are here to create impact. We are all here from taxpayers' money, if we are government institution, or if private institution, if it is paid by students or institution is paying us, we have to take decisions. Okay. For example, in my organization, every half an hour, I keep watching my WhatsApp, I keep watching my emails, and the decision making metrics that in our organization is, while we have presence in 17 states, 24 hours, the lower strata, the coordinator who he has to write to manager, 24 hours he has to respond. If he doesn't respond, my head will get email by 48 hours. 72 hours, the director will get email. 73rd hour it will come to my my mailbox. We don't have any file method where paper file movement illa, ella email. 73rd hour he will write to me, and that is a clear mandate given to all our employees across the country. That being the case, what happens? 73rd hours mere into delay illa. And these guys also, those in last maybe 2.5 years, I have not seen even one escalation at my level, because they only come back, sir, this is the problem, there are two solutions, then what should we do, right? Decision making is key for anybody's success. For example, in manayalli new decision ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, delay ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, immediate ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ? Immediate ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಯಾಕೆ? It is yours. Ownership is mine. ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೋ ಏನು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಲಿ ಒಪ್ಪಾಗಲಿ ನಂದು. The moment if you feel it is yours, you will take decision, right? I know there are complexities, there are challenges, but we have to evolve mindset, right? That is about timely decision making. Innovation management. How do you think innovation helps? Innovation helps. Innovation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊಸತನ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ. So in terms of driving result, let's not forget result leadership ಅಲ್ಲಿ innovation management ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? For example, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. If you have to drive results, what is the innovation you can bring? What is the innovation? Advertisement. Okay. What else? Subsidized fee structure. Okay. What else?
New courses.
New
Courses.
new courses.
Improve the result.
Correct. So these kind of ideation happens. So the ideas and then you try to improve upon. This innovation is extremely important to manage the result, because if you want best result, leadership, innovation is the key. We work with a company called Toyota, right? What is Toyota known for? Toyota andre enu? Like Tata andre enu? Trust. Tata andre trust, right? Toyota andre? Toyota is the company name. Toyota andre in talege barutte. What comes second? Vehicle. Which is it a normal quality, best quality? So Toyota means quality revolution, right? Why they are good at quality? Huh? Why they are good at quality?
Because they have good set of research and development.
Research and development is one wing, which they spend a good amount of money and time and people. How Toyota started? About 120 years ago, US ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ತನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ತನ್ನ ಹಳೆಯ ಮೋಲ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋ ಮೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್. ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು. ಏನು ಟೊಯೋಟಾ, ಸಗಾಚಿ ಟೊಯೋಟಾ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಫೌಂಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ, ದೇ ವರ್ ಇಂಟು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮಿಲ್ಸ್, ದೇ ವರ್ ಇಂಟು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್, ದೇ ವರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟು ಆಟೋಮೊಬೈಲ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ, ಏನು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಆಗಿದಂತಹ ಮೋಲ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಜಪಾನಿಗೆ ತಂದು ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. From Toyota, it became Toyota, right? Initially, our ಕಾರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ, they have something called as Kaizen. Kaizen ಅಂದ್ರೆ, have you heard of Kaizen?
Yes.
Japanese concept called as Kaizen. Kaizen ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
Good change.
Good change, continuous improvement, good change, right? So ಈ Kaizen ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಚೇರ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಚೇರ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮುಖ ಮಾಡಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಹಿಂಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಚೇರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹೋಗೋದೆಲ್ಲ ತಾಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ನಾನು ಬಿದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಮುರಿಬಾರ್ದು. ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ಥಿಂಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ Kaizen and other Toyota production system management methodology, they have become world's number one highest producing vehicle company from 2008. ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನೀವು ಮೋಲ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಕಾರ್ಸ್, ಟೊಯೋಟಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 1998ರಿಂದ ಶುರು ಆಯ್ತು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಟೊಯೋಟಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಓಡುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? 22, 23, 24 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು. 17, 18, 20 ಲಕ್ಷವರೆಗೆ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಓಡಿದೆ ಕಾರ್ಗಳು. And still they are doing well. They are super quality cars. Why this quality? Because they have a lot of innovation management. Innovation is not about only products. Now here, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲ activities ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದರಲ್ಲೂ innovation ತರಬೇಕು. Every small little thing can be brought innovation, and the more you are innovative, the more mindset will become open for learning. The more you are a good learner, the more productive you are. The more productive you are, the more efficient you will be able to deliver the results. So that's the fifth element of result leadership. Are we clear? I am giving more corporate example because I come from that background. So academics, I have less experience in terms of. I can give from skill development center, but that is not something which will excite. So the third aspect is business. Okay, a business alli enu in your context of let's say your institution. The first is managing vision and purpose. Your institution has purpose, right? You have vision. Each one of us, we have our own vision and purpose. How do you manage this purpose and vision? That is the first thing. For example, if you, in our context, our vision of our company when we started in 2016, our vision is to impact and create employment opportunity and both entrepreneurship opportunity for 1 million people. That's our vision. 1 million ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. That was our vision when we started in 2016. What is the purpose? Purpose is to bring out people who are in the below poverty line. Those who are poor, we want to skill them, we want to bring them to mainstream. That's the objective. So 10 lakh families will get benefited and they will come out of poverty. That's our purpose, right? So that is how, what is your institution purpose? You have to define, and your all actions have to be aligned to that purpose, that vision. Second, strategic capability. At times we have these issues around managing, vision. Let's say you get one guest faculty, okay? Because I think academic, as long as I know, academic setup only, you have your own approved position. I think your state government, central government, all of these they have to approve. But till such time there is a vacancy, you have to get one guest faculty. Correct? It happens. It happens or no? It happens. Do you think a person who has come as a guest faculty without much of experience, will they be able to connect to the purpose and vision of your institution and deploy the strategic capability that you have with over 10 to 12 years? I'm not saying they will not have, but is it possible for a person to, from the day one, to deploy that? Such idea, strategic capability when we talk about, our competence, character, knowledge, skills, all of that, keeping your institution's vision. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ದೇ ಡು? ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ? ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಕವರ್. Because that's one of the major important aspect of any academic leader I have seen. Sir, portion cover. Sir, industry visit ಏನಲ್ಲ portion cover. ನ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬರೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಇಷ್ಟು ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಂಗಗಳು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, so many stress, so much of stress from all angles. So nothing wrong, because that's how the setup has been over a period of evolved. I will not say created, it is evolved. So that is second. Third, dealing with ambiguity. Ambiguity is at times, let's say some decision happens somewhere at ministry level, or maybe some IAS officers who are sitting in one of the finest strategic meeting. Based on their intent from that meeting, some rules are being revised, and those rules come into effect at your institution level. But you don't have clarity what to do, what not to do. This situation idea illa atho ella clarity irada. At times you will not know whether to do this or that. Is it NEP or SEP? The current problem is it NEP or SEP? Okay, fine. Today it is NEP. Yesterday it was NEP. Today it is SEP. Tomorrow we don't know what. How should we be really manage. Last year, I spoke to the same kids about NU. This year, I am saying this is not. Right? This is how do you deal this ambiguity? This is ambiguous situation for you. Sir, I'm getting it. Madam, would you like to show your helplessness, or effectively would you like to manage that ambiguity? That is your ability to manage business, your academics. Then business acumen. Business acumen not necessarily academic leaders bad. Business acumen is all about how do you, for example, in business it's all revenue generation. You have to bring a lot of money to the organization because motto is profit. Any for-profit organization motto is to make money. In this context, you are not here to make money, but you can reduce the cost. Business acumen is, for example, if you are talking about printing new brochures, worth let's say ಒಂದು 10,000 brochure print ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ, if that brochure is being printed locally and if you are spending let's say 100 rupees and it is ending up let's say 1 lakh rupees in the cost ಆಗತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, if you can send it to let's say Bangalore where mass production happens, maybe 2 days late ಆಗೋದು ಅಥವಾ 2 days ಬೇಗ ಆಗೋದು, ನಮಗೆ 35 ಅಥವಾ 40,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬರುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, is it a good business acumen? You are not earning money but you are saving money. So that is where business acumen. I am just giving one example. Likewise, you can put across so many other examples of business acumen. And last but not the least, functional excellence. As an academician, what functional excellence I have? Okay, be it my professional competence in terms of delivering what is required for as a teacher or professor, or what is the important aspect of managing team. So these are the 3 aspects. Let me go to the direct one video, how leadership is being seen at different levels from different angles. This is my favorite video which I showcase to academicians and students. I would want you to see that. Then we will take the question if you have anything. Is that okay?